Hi, I'm going to talk to you today about some of the major cities in the United States because I'm sure you've heard of a lot of them. A lot of you follow sports, so you hear about sports teams and you may know where these cities are, but you may not know where all of them are. And we're not going to talk about all of them today, but we'll talk about some of the significant ones, see if we can make some sense out of this. Let's start over here in the Northeast. Now, Boston, Massachusetts sits right up here on the Atlantic Ocean. Boston, as we know, is one of our oldest cities. It was founded well before the Revolutionary War and is a very traditional old city, Boston, Massachusetts. Coming down from that is New York City. New York City, our largest city in population. Wall Street is there, so we've got a financial center there. A lot of hustle and bustle there. A lot of people go there on vacation. Interesting places all over the place to visit in New York City. Down from that is Philadelphia, Pennsylvania here, where the Liberty Bell is and where our country really got started. Our founders met in Philadelphia to create both the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, which really got the United States going. Down from that, Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, and many of you have probably either heard of that or maybe you've been there as well, to visit the Capitol and the White House and the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington Monument and all the cool things there in Washington, D.C. You've got other cities coming across here. Chicago is the biggest city in the Midwest, one of the biggest in the country, probably the biggest city off the coasts, right here at the south end of Lake Michigan. St. Louis, Missouri is called the gateway to the West, and you can see why, because in the old days, when the East was settled and we needed to move west, coming through St. Louis would have made sense. So that's St. Louis, Missouri. You've got some big cities here in Texas that you may have heard of. Dallas is one, Dallas, Texas. Houston, Texas is another one here. You've got Denver, Colorado, right at the foot of the Rockies here. And then you've got some big cities out west too. You've got Seattle up here in Washington. You've got San Francisco in California. That's one that a lot of people really enjoy to go visit. Los Angeles here in Southern California, where Hollywood is, and some other things. Disneyland is there, not Disney World, but Disneyland in Los Angeles. And so you've got cities all over the place, and I haven't mentioned them all, but I'd like to zero in a little bit on Florida, because we have some major cities here too. We have Jacksonville up to the north. We have Miami to the south. We have Tampa and St. Petersburg over here to the west. And what do we have right in the middle of all that? Good old Orlando. We all know Orlando and what that's about and why it's important.